What's up, everybody? Mike Flake from BuddhaSport.com. Doing a quick video blog about tomorrow night's UFC on Fuel TV2. We're just going to go over the televised part of the card and maybe touch on a couple different topics going on around the MMA world. The first fight that'll be televised will be Demarcus Johnson against John McGuire. McGuire's relatively unknown, beside the hardcore fans. He only has one UFC fight, which he won against Demarcus Johnson. Everybody knows him from The Ultimate Fighter. Johnson's a tough fighter. I view him more like a gatekeeper. He's kind of like in that thing where, he's not a real contender, but he's not a pushover. I think McGuire is going to end up beating Johnson by submission in the second round. So that's my pick there. Second fight, Dennis Siver against Diego Nunes. Everybody knows both fighters. Should be a great fight. Really entertaining. Really looking forward to it. I think it has a chance to be fight of the night. I see Nunes winning the fight by a decision because I see him being the more well-rounded fighter, while Siver kind of has that sprawl and, well, not sprawl and brawl, but his takedown defense is very good and his kickboxing is very good. So, that's where he kind of wants to fight to stay. I look for Nunes to be able to mix it up enough and do enough to win a decision. Close fight, though, but I wouldn't be shocked if Siver did catch him with something like the spinning back kick that we've seen a couple of times, or catch him, with something and hurt him and get a finish. But if I was betting my money, I got Nunes by a decision. The third fight is Paulo Thiago against Sair Bahadurzada. I think I said it right. But for those of you who haven't seen Sair fight, he is a wonderful fighter to watch. Great fighter. For years, he's been touted one of the best welterweights outside of the UFC. While he's fighting Paulo Thiago, former top 10, after he got a couple of wins over the AKA guys when he got that knockout over TKO over Koscheck and then submitted Swick, I believe. He hasn't looked the same since. Campman and Diego Sanchez kind of put him back down to earth, and he didn't really look that good even in his last win when he fought David Mitchell. I think that was at UFC 134, I want to say. I could be wrong, though. But I look for Sair to win this fight. He's really fun to fighter to watch. For anybody who hasn't got to see him fight, make sure you tune in. I look for him to win by TKO in the second or third round, if not a decision. But he's going to win the fight either way. I'm a big fan of Sair. The co-main event of the night is Brian Stann against Alessio Sakara. This fight is going to be a stand-up fight, no questions asked. Neither fighter looks to go to the ground often. Stann being the more powerful, brawling type, and Sakara being the more technical, fighter. Sakara is a former professional boxer from Italy. For those of you who don't know, Stann tends to excel in these sort of fights. That he knows he doesn't have to worry about being taken down. He knows that Sakara is not going to be shooting, so, that's where he really thrives and where he knows he could just let the hands go. And not too many middleweights, not too many of anybody's going to be able to absorb shots from Stann. He's very strong, and I think that's only a matter of time. I got him winning by KO in the first round. On to the main event of the evening, Alexander Gustafsson against Thiago Silva. Now, anybody who's read anything I've written in the past or watched any of my video blogs knows that I've been very high on Gustafsson for a long time. I'm a big fan of Gustafsson, and I look for him. This should be no different. Stand-up's great. wrestling's improved. Takedown defense is great. We don't really necessarily know that much about his ground game, but training over there with Phil Davis and Brandon Vera and all them guys, I'm sure he's his ground game is his bottom game, his top game. He's just tough. He's good all around. That was my pick a long time, like maybe a year ago, when they said who has a chance against John Jones, and my answer was, at the time, it was like right after he beat like James Tahuna, would be, if anybody, would be Gustafsson, because he stands 6'5". He's a big guy. He's long. That would be the guy that I would keep my eye on for a showdown with John Jones in the future. Now, this is the fight that could propel Gustafsson into that class. Every fighter, there's a fight in time when they're coming from, young prospect into contender. For John Jones, it was the Bader fight. For Rashad Evans, it was the Chuck Liddell fight. That's this fight here for Gustafsson. Thiago Silva was in that category back in maybe 2009 when he fought Lyoto Machida, and he's never been to reestablish that sort of rapport or aura around him again. He hasn't really gotten back to that level. He's kind of stayed right in the middle there. This is a tough fight. Thiago Silva's very good. He's coming off a 1-year suspension for using the fake urine after the Vera fight. This is no easy fight by any stretch of the imagination, though, but I look for Gustafsson to be able to pick him apart enough and then eventually go for get the finish. I'm looking for Gustafsson to win by a TKO in the second round. Especially in his home country, right there in Sweden. So that's my picks: Gustafsson, Stan, Nunes, Sayer, and McGuire. So if you're betting money, make your checks payable over here for whatever you win. You can send them my way. But other topics around the MMA world I wanted to touch on was Alistair Overeem failing his pre-fight surprise drug test. And the Nevada State Athletic Commission possibly still licensing him, which I think would be insane. Especially, promoting, almost encouraging these fighters to continue to try to cheat in a way. There has to be a punishment. He needs to get the suspension just like anybody else would, 9 months to 1 year. Even if he does get the license, I think Lorenzo Fertitta and Dana White should pull him out. They should find a replacement right now. I don't want to see Frank Mir in that take that spot, for the reason being that I'm a big Frank Mir fan. I am. I like Frank a lot, but in his last couple of fights, that his chin just hasn't looked the same. Nogueira had him hurt. I could only imagine Dos Santos, what he would do there, and to spend $50 to see that, I don't know. I am behind the idea of Mark Hunt getting the spot. I think it's a great idea. The underdog story, that whole thing. And I think stylistically, which everybody knows, this sport is based on, matchups. Matchups are everything. And I think Hunt can totally give Junior fits. He's looked really good. He looked really good against Czech Congo in his last fight. He's looked really good in his last 3 fights, and he's gotten some good wins. And we all know he's a high level striker with some power. And I think that would be the most entertaining fight, because Dos Santos ain't looking for no takedowns and Mark Hunt ain't looking for no takedowns. So the fans generally like to see are those stand up type wars. There's going to be a knockout. But you don't really know. Hunt has the better chance over Mir, in my opinion, and I would love to see that. What a story that would be. But on the other hand, does the UFC want a guy just barely over 500 possibly being their heavyweight champion? That's the other thing. But thanks for watching. As always, Buddhasport.com, best MMA website out there. Follow me on Twitter at Buddha Sport MMA. And always look for my my video blogs. They'll be coming more frequently. I've had some issues in my personal life. I haven't been able to make the videos as frequently as I would like to, but they'll be back. Look for my next week with the predictions from the Jones and Evans card. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.